Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new speed build. So today we're building a full base game house, no other packs included. So I've been wanting to make a base game starter, which this is not that. It was supposed to be, and then as I saw my money draining, I was like, well, looks like that's not happening today. So I didn't want to completely scrap the idea of the house that I had in mind just to be able to fit into the starter budget. So maybe I'll do a starter home another time. I feel like I probably could have made this house a starter home if I didn't put in like that other bump out for the house. It could have been just like a small 2-floor house. Although at that point I feel like it'd be extremely cramped. So I think my challenge to myself is to do a starter home within a specific budget, because I'm having a hard time doing that. I've already attempted it twice and I just can't get there. So this is something I really want to try and do. I think I've done a starter home before, like a really long time. I've built one other, I think, base game home. Actually, was it base game? I just looked it up and it was base game, but now that I'm looking at it, I remember the interior being not that great. The bottom floor was good, but then when I got to the top floor, it was just not good. I could probably go back and redo it, or at least edit it, because I really like the backyard from what I remember. I'm only seeing the front of the house, so I don't remember the specifics, but I think I could definitely go back in there and adjust it so it's a lot nicer. I kind of want to do some more base game related stuff, specifically because base game is going to be free soon. And speaking of base game, I went to go, before I went to build this house, I went into create a sim to make a sim so I could, get into this world. And to say the least, base game is just not that great, especially when it comes to create a sim. I think build by beats create a sim by a landslide when it comes to base game stuff. Like, there is some cute stuff that has been added over time, and there is still some good pieces, but it's like, overall, I think the main thing that gets to me when it comes to Cass is specifically the hairs. There's a good amount of hairs in there, but a lot of them just look so off. Like, they're so outdated. Like, comparing 2014 Sims to 2022 Sims, like based off of what's come out for the game, like the quality is just unmatched. Like, it's just not the same. It feels like two different types of games when it comes to the quality of the content. And so yeah, just base game is just not it when it comes to Cass. And I think the other thing is just there's so much more build by items that you can still make a decent house with. That's not to say you can't make a good sim with base game stuff. You still can. It's just a little bit more of a challenge, to say the least. So for me, if I want to make CC free sims, I feel like I just need the other packs enabled in order for me to do that, because right now I'm only playing with strictly base game, no custom content, just so that I could see, everything that base game comes with, and it makes it so much easier to build and not have to, keep scrolling. If you guys don't know how to disable packs, James Turner has a website where it tells you how to do it. I'll link it down in the description, because sometimes if you want to build strictly base game, instead of having to click the little tag all the time, you can just disable all the packs and be able to use just base game, which I've done a lot more recently. And so it's definitely very helpful. Like, for me, the one pack that I always have disabled is Journey to Batu. I've never played that pack. I still kind of want to try it low-key, because it's been over 2 years now, I think. And I low-key, just for the shits and giggles, kind of want to just try it and see how it goes. So I might do it. I think I mentioned this before, I want to say. As far as this house goes, I actually enjoyed the building process of it. It went by really quickly for me. I think I built this under 2 hours. And by that, I mean I built it in 1 hour and 50 minutes. So under 2, which is really good, because a lot of the time when I build houses, it takes me anywhere from 2 to 3, sometimes more than that, 4+. It really just depends, but I think because I had a smaller space to work with, it was a little bit easier to fill in the areas. And I will say I really love how the living room came out. Like, it's so simple. Like, it's nothing crazy, but it just feels like a proper living room. I feel like most of my living rooms that I make just don't feel like that. Although I did try to do that in my most recent build, which was Sage's new home for my Whimsy Stories series, which I am actually so in love with that house. Like, I'm literally looking at the photo of it right now, and I don't know, I feel like it's one of my best houses. That's the thing about when I do these series, is I love being able to build houses for my Sims, because it just makes me learn to build better and learn new things. And that's the main thing that I love about my Not So Berry series is I'm pretty sure I built every single house slash apartment for that series. Yeah, I think I did. And so you can literally see my progression over the years because I did that series for, what was it, 3 or 4 years? 5? 3, 4? I don't know. A long time, regardless. But it's so fun to look back and just see how much you've improved. And I want to try and just keep up with building more because overall, even though I may get frustrated with the roofing or the floor plan or how the landscape is going, or maybe I'm not liking how I'm decorating a certain space, I still enjoy building and the process is just so relaxing to me. It's literally just the same as Create a Sim. I just love being able to put on a show and watch it whilst I'm doing this stuff because it's just like a whole little like experience, you know what I mean? And I'm sure many of you guys can relate to exactly what I'm talking about, but I can't do the same thing necessarily with gameplay because when I do gameplay, I'm always filming it and commentating, so it's not necessarily as relaxing, especially if there's some chaos going on. So yeah, it's definitely a different experience. So I appreciate that about Build, Buy, and Cast for sure. And since we're on the topic of all 3 parts of Sims, what's your favorite thing to do? Cast, build, or gameplay? I'd love to hear in the comments because sometimes people are into everything. Some people prefer one thing over the other. It could be 2 things. I mean, I kind of like everything. Obviously, Create a Sim, no matter what, still holds the reign on that one, but I think it also depends on which Sims game I'm playing too, because I feel like for me, with Sims 3, it would definitely be gameplay, and then it'd be Create a Sim, then Build, Buy. Because building in Sims 3 was always a struggle for me. Like, we're not even gonna cover me building in The Sims 3 because it was awful. Although now, because of my skills that I've learned in Sims 4, building in The Sims 3 is a little bit easier for me. I think I've only built like a house or 2 since I've been playing Sims 3, so not too many, but definitely not a building girly in Sims 2 or Sims 3, and also definitely only gameplay in Sims 2. Cast, not really. Build, definitely not. So it surely depends on which one I'm playing. But yeah, so let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys prefer when it comes to Sims, because I'm sure you guys know what I like, but I don't know what you guys like, and I'd like to get to know you guys as well, so definitely let me know. But also, have you guys noticed the color palette of this house? Definitely unintentional, and I'm only realizing this now that it's green. How can I escape this color? Literally everything I do, I just want to do green. Like, I need to stop, you know? Like, someone help me. I need an intervention. Like, what is going on? Like, I can't escape it. I'm surprised they didn't make the house a freaking green color as well. Like, everything else on the interior is pretty much giving off green. I mean, the living room, the bedroom, so yeah. But also, speaking about the bedroom, I was going to make the upstairs be like separate, like a separate room and maybe a bathroom up there, but I kind of just wanted to pay homage to my Not So Berry mint house, which also kind of had the same kind of concept going where the stairs just lead directly into a bedroom. And I don't think I've done that ever since I've built that house. I don't know, except, well, kind of with my suburban microhome for my Whimsy Stories house, because I mean, I kind of needed to have a bedroom for them in their really tiny house. So yeah, but I haven't really done like a proper sort of house where I've also just included stairs that lead directly to a bedroom. But I kind of like that idea because it's like, you know, everything feels very open. And I mean, there's only one sim living here, or a couple, I guess. You could eventually, like if you do use this house, you could expand upon it, and, you know, probably next to where the stairs are, you could, you know, add another extension, and then you could like put a wall there and like have it be more private. How you're gonna do that, I don't know. I just built the base, so you can figure that out. I'm not an expert. I just go with the flow and see how things work out. So I wanted to keep the landscaping somewhat minimal because, I mean, I say that, but there's like a lot of bushery going on. Is that even a proper term? Don't know, but it is now. So there's a lot of that going on, and I was originally just gonna leave it like this, but I was like, oh, it looks kind of weird. So then I was like, maybe I need to add like a backyard. And I was like, maybe it's gonna be a fake backyard and there's nothing actually there. And then I was like, it looks stupid if it's just like, you know, there's a gate leading to nothing. So I was like, okay, let me make a door leading outside from the living room. And so I ended up continuing that. And the backyard is just kind of simple. I don't really do many backyards now that I think about it. When it comes to builds, I feel like that's the last thing I think about. And I don't know why, because like most houses like have a backyard. Maybe it's not necessarily fenced off, but like, you know, there's always something potentially there. So I think that's something I also need to keep in mind when I make homes, is that specifically. And another thing is I need to start adding pools. Like originally I was going to add a pool to this house, and I did for a split second, but I cut that footage out because I was just not vibing with the look and everything I was doing. So I was just like, we're just gonna cut it out. The other thing is like when I used to build more, I used to put more pools in my houses. So I don't know when I stopped doing that, let alone like stop doing backyards too. Like I think I just maybe got lazy with it or something, because I didn't really focus on that. I'm like trying to think of a house where I didn't made like a proper backyard. Like not many of them, honestly. A lot of them are lacking. And then also the whole pool situation. I just need to make a nice house with a nice pool and a backyard. So I think I just don't know what to do for them. Like I don't know how to properly decorate a backyard. Like when my house that I just recently made, Sage's house, like I did like a side yard, but even then I just don't think it's that well decorated. So like how do you decorate a yard like to make it look nice and not like very empty? Because I think that's the main thing I struggle with, which is probably why I avoid doing them now come to think of it. So I don't know, maybe I just need to like look at some actual yards and like figure out how to make it look, you know, put together to some extent. And I just want to say overall, I'm really proud of myself for being able to make a house that I actually like with base game, which honestly, I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a struggle. Definitely the whole starter situation is the struggle. We'll get there, hopefully. So I just need to keep in mind like the size of the house and like how big I should be making the space when it comes to a starter. But like I said, this one I think it came out pretty cute. Like I'm actually really happy with it. Like I would actually have my sim live here. Maybe would change up some of the furnishings inside, like specifically the kitchen counters. I was gonna use more expensive counters, which I probably could have gone back in and changed them now that I completely did not worry about starter budget. So I could have changed it, but at this point, like they're there. They don't look that bad. So I hope you guys like it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. But without further ado, here are the screenshots of the house. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you guys in a new video very soon. Bye guys.